What if I told you that one of the very first pieces of Jurassic Park merchandise wasn't a toy, wasn't a video game, but a comic book illustrated by two comic book legends? In 1993, just as Steven Spielberg's Jurassic Park exploded into theaters and changed cinema forever, Topps Comics released a four-issue adaptation of the film. Written by Walter Simonson, with artwork by Gil Kane and inks by George Perez, this wasn't some cheap cash grab. This was a genuine attempt to translate one of the greatest blockbuster films ever into a comic. Today we're taking a deep dive into issue number 1 to see how well it holds up over 30 years later. Does it capture the magic of the movie? Does the artwork live up to the incredible cover? And is this comic worth tracking down today? Let's find out. The cover. Before we even crack open the first page, let's take a minute to appreciate this cover. Unlike the movie adaptation series, this artwork isn't recreating a famous scene from the film. Instead, it's teasing something completely new. Front and center is a velociraptor stalking Tim through dense jungle foliage. Tim has stumbled into what appears to be a restricted area, splashing through the mud as he turns to face one of Jurassic Park's most intelligent, most feared predators. Off to the side, a weathered velociraptor warning sign reminds you that this isn't just another jungle, it's Jurassic Park. It grabs your attention, sparks your imagination, and promises danger lurking just beyond the front page. Even today, I'd say this remains one of the most memorable covers in the entire Jurassic Park comic line. The story. Issue 1 opens exactly like the film. We're introduced to Isla Nublar, located 120 miles west of Costa Rica, where something has gone terribly wrong during the transfer of an animal into its enclosure. The comic wastes absolutely no time. Within just a few pages, you're already witnessing the death of the gatekeeper. Just like the movie, we never get a full look at the creature, only glimpses, claws, teeth, eyes. The mystery is preserved perfectly. Even if you've seen Jurassic Park 100 times, the sequence still works. Just like the film, Donald Gennaro confronts Rostanago about meeting up with him. Rostanago tells Gennaro about his daughter getting a divorce. They discuss the need for underwriters to sign off on the park to keep the investors from pulling out. Rostanago tells Gennaro that they'll never get Alan Grant out of Montana. Next, we meet Dr. Alan Grant and Dr. Ellie Sadler during the famous dinosaur dig. Most of the dialogue is lifted directly from the film. If you've watched Jurassic Park recently, you'll recognize nearly every conversation. Grant scares the young boy with the velociraptor claw. We establish he's brilliant with dinosaurs, not exactly comfortable around children. The comic moves quickly, but it gives each major character a chance to establish their personality before the adventure begins. Then we finally meet John Hammond. Richard Attenborough's warm, grandfatherly personality is still present in the dialogue. He's charming, optimistic, almost impossible to dislike. But if you know the story, you also know he's about to convince everyone to visit the most dangerous tourist attraction ever built. One thing I appreciate is how effectively the comic moves through these scenes. Because comics have limited pages, every panel has to matter. There's almost no wasted space. We move on to Dennis Nedry meeting up with Dodson. Dodson explaining to Nedry how to get the embryos off the island. Nedry assures him he has no problem. He's got an 18-minute window. This scene mirrors the movie in almost every way. And finally, we're off with our group to Isla Nublar. Dr. Alan Grant and Ellie Sadler meet Donald Gennaro and Ian Malcolm. Ian Malcolm begins his flirtation with Ellie while trying to explain chaos theory to Grant. Hammond tells everyone to hold on as they begin their descent. In this iteration, we're introduced to the electric cars that look more like the Jeeps from the movies. The first thing that happens is the group passes through the giant gates of Jurassic Park, greeted by the workers. Malcolm makes his famous movie quote, "What have they got in there, King Kong?" As Ellie notices the extinct plant life, Grant notices a tree that's moving. Finally, a brachiosaurus steps out of the tree line. Grant is amazed as the brachiosauruses trumpet throughout the valley. So, does Jurassic Park issue 1 still hold up? I think it does. Is it perfect? No. The interior artwork doesn't appeal to everyone. The pacing is very fast. And if you're expecting lots of extra scenes from the novel, you won't find them here. It's an adaptation of the movie. Nothing more, nothing less. but what it does well. It captures the excitement, the mystery, the adventure. It serves as a fantastic time capsule for the summer of 1993. The first issue lays out a solid foundation before everything really starts falling apart in the next installments. Right now, the characters are still excited. Jurassic Park feels like a dream. None of them know the nightmares that's waiting just around the corner. I'd rate this a 9 out of 10. If you're a Jurassic Park fan, this comic is absolutely worth reading. Not because it replaces the movie, but it captures a fascinating moment in the Jurassic Park history when the franchise was brand new and everyone wanted just a little bit more. And thankfully, Tops Comics delivered. Join us next week for part 2.